Alright guys, what's up? Welcome to today's video. And today's video is going to be a big one. It's going to help a lot of you guys out. And I know when I first started cutting down, trying to lose body fat, get really lean and stuff like that, and this was a huge help for me. And thank God I had really good influences that I was learning from, that I learned this from very early on time in my fitness career. So this has really been a blessing. And ever since then, it's kind of been second nature for me. So I don't really think about it too much now, but I see this in everyone who's trying to get lean, trying to diet down for their first time, even their second, third, or fifth time. Some people are just idiots and they don't really think what they're eating or what to do properly in order to get them more optimal results. So if you see the video, it's not really a secret, the thumbnail of the video, but it's going to be a major help. And that is, you need to eat foods that fill you up. The number one key to succeeding on a diet and to succeed in losing body fat, losing weight, is to eat foods that fill you up. And if you can take one thing away from this video, it's this. If you're full on a diet, you're not hungry. If you're not hungry, you're not going to overeat. And if you're going to overeat, that leads to binge eating. And binge eating, overeating, is what allows you to obviously take yourself out of that calorie deficit, making your fat loss and weight loss completely fail. So you need to keep yourself full. But you might be thinking, how do I keep myself full when I'm eating less than 300 grams of carbs a day, when I'm eating 2,500 calories a day? That's not a lot of food for me, but I normally eat like a whole bunch of food, like 3,000 plus calories when I'm bulking, and this food I'm on now doesn't fill me up. And it's like, so my answer to that is, well, you're an idiot, because there's so many things you can do. So what I have here is a few examples of what I want to show you when I mean eat foods that fill you up. A really big term that is thrown around is very high volume foods that are very low calorie. That's the key to this here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you some foods that are very high in volume, low in calories, and I'm going to compare them to other foods that maybe they're high in calories, low in calories, but they're not high volume. And the high volume is what's going to keep you full. It's what's going to fill your gut up. You might have a food baby, but if you have a food baby, you're going to be full. It's not going to make you gain fat, just going to keep you a little bit fuller. And if you're full, you're not going to lead to overeating and binge eating. So that's the key here. So what we have here, this is not an example of a filling food. This is just a good and gather, like organic fruit strip. I'm not getting into health here. I don't care what's healthy, what's not healthy. This is purely just about the calories and macros. So this whole fruit strip here, it's absolutely tiny. I have some of these right now. I have a few of these every day because I'm bulking and I don't want to be full, but that's an opposite topic. But anyways, this little tiny strip here, this is 50 calories. Not a lot of calories at all. I think there is 12 grams of carbs in this one little thing. Not a lot whatsoever. I eat this in 2 bites. I can eat 20 more of them, still not be full. And that's the thing here. This is not going to fill me up, even though it's low calories. So people, they'd be like, yes, I'm eating 2,000 calories a day, I'm eating 1,500 calories a day. But the thing with that, they're absolutely dying. They can't sustain that because they're not doing it right. They're not eating the foods that fill them up. They're eating the right calories and macros, but you can still be eating the right calories and macros and not be full and feel like you're dying. So this is not a good example of what you should be eating on a diet. You should avoid things like this just because they're not going to fill you up. So on the other hand, what we have here is a whole package of just spinach. I said that bar that was like, what, this big? 50 calories. Now this package is not full because I had some today, but this whole container of just baby spinach, 40 freaking calories. Now, if you had, say you had 6 of these, what's 6 times 40? 80, 120. My math is terrible, by the way. Say 240 calories for 6 of these. You'd probably puke because that's a whole lot of food and you'd be so full. So by adding things like this in your diet, volume, so what, you may not be a fan of fruits and veggies, but so what? They're good for you. Force yourself to like them because they're going to let you succeed in your fat loss diet because they're going to keep you full. And if you're full, I've said this a bunch of times today already, you're going to be stuffed. You're not going to want to eat a whole lot of food. You're not going to overeat. And if you're not going to overeat, you're not going to binge eat. Therefore, you can sustain your diet. And to ultimately get results in the diet, you have to sustain it. You have to be consistent with it and stick with it for weeks at a time. You can't just do it as hard as you want for a week and then just say, I'm going to call it quits here. You have to sustain it for a long time. So this right here is a great example with this. The other thing with filling foods is you want to have a lot of fiber in your diet. Like this right here, for the whole container, there is 3 grams of fiber. And if you eat a bunch of this combined with other things with fiber, that fiber is gonna fill you up. That fiber balls up and binds inside your stomach, and it takes a lot longer to digest. And when your body's taking a lot longer to digest the food you're eating, ultimately you're gonna be fuller for longer. Say if you had that fruit strip, when it's just like pure sugar, that sugar's gonna absorb right into you, it's gonna digest you in like a matter of minutes, and then you're gonna be, okay, I'm hungry again. Where if you have, say, your normal chicken, rice, just cliche meal, I don't care what meal it is right now, but just say you have a chicken and rice meal. If you eat the chicken and rice by itself, yeah, it's got good nutrients for you, getting some protein, getting some carbs, maybe a little bit of fat, but either way, you're gonna eat that chicken and rice in a second. It's not gonna fill you up. Most rice, there's not a whole lot of fiber, there's no fiber in the chicken, and there's no volume into that. Like I said earlier, high volume, low calorie foods. Putting in high calorie, low volume food like this, it's gonna add in so much more volume to your meal, and you're gonna be so much more full. And like I said, if you wanted to, you could eat freaking 3 of these containers and have hardly any calories at all, but it's gonna fill you up, and it's gonna keep you more consistent for longer. That being said, while you're on the topic of veggies right now, track your veggies. You need to track veggies. Yes, there's 40 calories in this, not a whole lot, but still, if you're on a diet, it's gonna all add up in the end, especially if you eat like 3 of these. If you eat 3 of these, that's 120 calories where it's gonna add up and it's gonna overdo you. So you need to track your veggies too. So just give me 1 second here. I'm gonna pull up another example of a food, or not a food this time, but it's gonna be a drink of what you can do to help you sustain your fat loss diet longer. So we are back in the second part of this video, and another example I have here of a food that's gonna be a bad example of what you wanna eat on your diet is any kind of a drink that contains calories. Now this one is a piss poor example just because it's even smaller than most. You don't want to drink your calories on a diet. You're literally wasting your calories if you drink them. Yes, your body will still use those calories, but like I said earlier, it's just gonna run right through your system. It's not gonna keep you full. You need to keep yourself full using high volume things like spinach, using potatoes, making like smoothies that are filled with a bunch of volume, a lot of ice to keep you full, drinking carbonated beverages. So like this, for example, this little tiny can of pineapple juice, not to say it's bad or good for you, I'm not getting into that, like I said earlier, but this tiny little can, literally like what, 4 inches tall, 100 calories in this tiny little can. That's a frick ton for I drink one of these in like 3 gulps. And it's just 100 calories down like that. 24 grams of carbs in this thing. And you need carbs on a diet, but you want carbs that are gonna fill you up. So 24 grams of carbs like that, it's not gonna keep you full. You're gonna wanna eat 100 more grams. I could literally drink 5 of these. If I drink 5 of these, that'd be over 100 grams of carbs, over 500 calories worth of just calories and macros that I'm wasting. So this is a bad example. Do not drink your calories like at all on a cut. Where if I could switch that out for something like this is called Bay. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's sparkling water that's flavored. And I don't have any right now, but if you guys probably know the sparkling ice, those like flavored sparkling waters, they taste really good, honestly. In them, there's 0 calories, no proteins, no carbs, no fats. This one, however, has 5 calories, a few grams of carbs in it, but compared to that pineapple juice, it's gonna be a lot safer option because number 1, it's obviously bigger, and number 2, there's no calories in it, there's very few. So you could drink a few of these. You probably hold yourself off for a little bit longer with the food, you feel a lot better, and no calories, you're not going overboard on your diet. And like why I like the sparkling ice is not this one, the sparkling ice, is because there's a lot of carbonation in those too. And what that carbonation does is it bubbles up in your stomach and it gives you the illusion that you're more full. And like I said, if you're more full, you're not gonna be hungry. And why we fail our diets is because we make ourselves hungry by eating poor food choices that don't fill us up. So listen to this, fill yourself up so you're not hungry. So I really like sparkling ice. Don't go overboard in the caffeine. If you want to have your cup of coffee, that's good too. Like maybe save your cup of coffee for later in the day or later in the morning when you start to get a little bit hungry. Have your coffee then, because that caffeine is going to blunt your appetite. But don't become a caffeine addict, because caffeine, yes, it will help blunt your appetite, but you can get addicted to caffeine and you can overuse caffeine in a way that you really get no benefit from it then. So I'm a big fan of sparkling water just because you can find some with no caffeine, carbonation fills you up, and the stuff like the sparkling ice or even this Bai stuff, Little to no calories in it, so it's not going to take you off your macro goals for your cut. So I think I'd rather have this one right here because it's like twice the size, like 1% of this is calories and carbs. And I'd rather have this whole box of spinach and this tiny little fruit strip here. This is 10 calories less than this. 10 calories less. This is 10 calories more than this is. So it's a no-brainer to me. I'd want to eat this all day if I was on a cut. Because if I know I put this with my meat, my veggies, my potatoes or whatever, I'm going to be so much more full. And therefore, I'm not going to binge eat. And honestly, like I said earlier, I learned from a very early on point in my fitness journey to use filling foods like this just because I was fortunate enough to surround my mind and self with role models who knew what they were talking about. So I've never, honestly, I can honestly say I've never binged on a diet. Yeah, there's days when I maybe ate slightly more than I should have, but I've never gone out of control like binge, like just stuffing my face like that. And that's because I know how to keep myself full. This whole past summer, I sustained probably under 10% body fat the entire summer. And yes, part of that is genetics, but it wasn't easy, but I was able to sustain it because I was keeping myself full. And so I can diet all the way down, get super, super lean and not feel like I'm starving. Sure, yeah, I'm not as full as I would if I was in the peak bulk like I am now, but I can do it in a way where I'm sustaining my appetite. I'm not feeling like I need to binge, just go out of control. So it's really just being smart about it. Think about the food choices you're having. Yes, calories and macros, they should always be number one. But where are you getting those calories and macros from? Are you just eating no volume food, just like in a few bites and then you're done? Because that's not gonna cut it for you. Yes, you'll see results on that, but you're not gonna be able to sustain that because you're not full. You're gonna be too hungry, you're gonna start binging and just be in a whirlpool of just like misery. So really take in what I had to say here. It's gonna be a crazy help with you, and just take your time, learn what foods are gonna fill you up, and good luck with everything. So, like always, if you're wanting to get some results but you don't really know how, I'd be happy to work with you. If you want to learn some more, I'd be happy to work with you. I do one-on-one personal coaching. I do updated workout nutrition plans on a weekly basis, set to you. So custom workout plan, custom diet plan. I do meal plans. I do macro coaching, weekly check-ins, 24/7, email, text, question and answers, and yeah, just a monthly pay. So that's about it right now. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great night, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.